Hi, my name's Mark and welcome to this tutorial on adding a class in iDoceo. So one of the things you want to do when you first get into iDoceo is to add your classes. Now there's a number of different ways you can do it, but a really great way is to use Excel files or CSV files. So you can see that I haven't added a class yet. I'm going to go to my Google Drive account. And I've created a sample Google Sheet. Now, unfortunately, you can't import Google Sheets into iDoceo, but you can import Microsoft Excel sheets. So they're very similar, but there's important things that you need to have for your Google Sheet or Excel sheet before you import them. So what you need to have is an ID column, which is the case's number. The second thing you need to have is a surname. Third thing is first name. And finally, the last thing is the group, which is the class name. So the two things that we're really changing here is the ID at the top of the column represents the cases, and the group represents the class name. Now, as I said before, you can't import Google Sheets into iDoceo directly, but you can save them as CSV files. So that's what we're going to use today to import into iDoceo. So as you can see, I have my sample Google Sheet here and I have saved it as a sample class CSV file. Now, if you don't know how to save a CSV file, it's a fairly straightforward thing. So find someone who can do that for you. And you might even find that the IT person or the tech can provide you with classroom files or class files of CSVs. So I'm going to double tap out of this and I'm going to go into iDoceo. So I'm going to tap on the plus button to add my class, and you need to pick the second one. It says import from Google Classroom, comma, XLS or CSV. Then I'm going to import CSV, and it will come up with my Google Drive folder that I've already had selected. Now, just so I'll show you what happens when you do try and import a Google Sheet. Tap on this. It gives us this invalid file format. We don't want that. So I'll go back and go through the steps again. And this time, I'm going to select the sample class, which is the CSV file. Tap on that. Now you can see it's recognized the file and it's already got it in order that I want. It's recognized that ID is the case's number, surname, first name, and group number, which is the classroom. Go next. You can change these, but as we've set the file up properly, we don't need to. We'll click on next or continue, and it's representing the ID and the group as well. Next, and then it's got it all sorted. All right, ready to create the class. I'm going to import it now and create the class. So you can see it's created the class, and you'll see on the left-hand side it has the name of the student plus the grade. I don't need to have the grade in this case because I'm going to actually call my class the grade name. I can change that later, but what I want to do is actually have their cases number. So I go over here to the little icons right in the top right-hand corner, and at the top it says student name format. I'm going to tap on that. I'm going to take off group and you'll see a change, and I'm going to add ID and you'll see their cases number. So this is helpful if you want to refer to their cases number from time to time. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to student thumbnail and I'm going to tap on add photo, and I'm going to show you in a moment how to do that in a couple of different ways. So tap out of that. So as I said, there's a few different ways to add a photo. If I double tap on the name, it'll come up here and it'll say add photo. I can tap on add photo. And then I can actually take a photo. It takes a little bit of time for a whole class, but you can do that. Or I can go to the file one and tap on file. It will allow me to access Google Drive, and I'm going to tap on photos, student photos. And I'm going to pick the correct photo. So I'm going to select this one here, and it's added that photo. But there is a quicker way. You can actually do what's called a bulk import. So I'm going to exit out of this, but this is only applicable if you have your photos with a cases number. So to do a bulk import is a little different. You have to go down to seating plan. We're just going to exit out of this. And now we're going to go to the hammer icon, and we're going to go to bulk import photos. Now you can see that we've already imported one photo. I'm going to tap on bulk import, and I'm going to use ID, which is really important. This is the cases number that we're using. So tap on that, and now I'm going to select all those photos that I want to import. Already imported the first one. You can see that their cases number is underneath. So what it's going to do is going to match up the student ID with their cases number, which is the same. All right, let's tap on open. And as you can see, it has imported in a bulk import into iDoceo. This is a really great way of doing things. Just remember though that it is in the seating plan, and then you go to the hammer icon, which is tools, and then you go to bulk import. And you need to, if you're going to do it this way, make sure that the ID number, and in this case we're using their cases number, is the same on the photos as it is with the student. Alright, well I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and it's helped you out when you're creating a class in iDoceo and adding information about your students.